Economics is both a social science and a toolkit for advising on policy decisions. As a social scientist, economists seek to discover how the economic world works. In the pursuit of this goal, like all scientists, economists distinguish between positive and normative statements. A positive statement is about what is. It says what is currently believed about the way the world operates. A positive statement might be right or wrong, but we can test it by checking it against the facts. Like the earth is flat is a positive statement. We can test whether it is right or wrong. A central task of economists is to test positive statements about how the economic world works and to weed out those that are wrong. Economics first got off the ground in the later 1700s. So it is a young science compared with, for example, physics. And much remains to be discovered. A normative statement is about what ought to be. It depends on values and cannot be tested. Policy goals are normative statements. For example, we ought to cut our use of coal by 50%. It's a normative policy statement. You may agree or disagree with it, but you can't test it. It doesn't assert a fact that can be checked. The task of economic science is to discover positive statements that are consistent with what we observed in the world, and that enables us to understand how the economic world works. Like the question, are computers getting cheaper because people are buying them in a greater quantities? Or are people buying computers in great quantities because they are getting cheaper? To answer such questions, economists create and test economic models. An economic model is a description of some aspect of the economic world that includes only those features that are needed for the purpose at hand. For example, an economic model of a cell phone network might include features such as the price of calls, the number of the cell phone users, and the volume of calls, but the model would ignore cell phone colors and the ringtones. A model is tested by comparing its predictions with the facts. But testing an economic model is difficult because we observe the outcomes of the simultaneous change of many factors. To cope with this problem, economists look for nature experiments, conduct statistical investigations to find correlations, and perform economic experiments by putting people in decision-making situations and varying the influence of one factor at a time to discover how they respond. Economics is useful. It is a toolkit for advising governments and businesses and for making personal decisions. Some of the most famous economics work partly as policy advisors. All the policy questions on which economics provide advice involve a blend of the positive and the normative. Economics can help with the normative part, the policy goal. But for a given goal, economics provides a method of evaluating alternative solutions, comparing marginal benefit and marginal cost, and finding the solution that makes the best use of the available resources. This is the end of Chapter 1. Thank you for watching.